For Vancouver Burrard.
Thank you, Honourable Chair, and thank you to my colleagues and the Minister for discussing heritage. I've got a number of questions on heritage, which I'll return to later. I've wanted to get back to the discussion of arts and culture we've been having earlier, and I'll just I've got a couple of facts and figures that I wanted to discuss here so that the people watching at home, the members who've joined us here now, people in the gallery, will have an idea of why this is so important to me and why I'm concerned about this. And that's directly related to the supplementary estimates that we're discussing. Basically, I think with a 50% cut in support, which is coming 2010, 2011, 2012, to the arts and culture sector, we're facing a devastating future for arts and culture communities across BC. Currently, over 117,000 people are employed in the cultural sector in BC. That's about 5% of the BC labour force. On average, between 1996 and 2003, cultural output had contributed almost 4% of the provincial GDP. It's gone up since then. I don't have the latest figures with me right now, but suffice to say that it's pretty impressive what it does for our province's economy. Study after study has shown that investing in the arts provides a disproportionate economic stimulus on local communities compared to some other industries. The Conference Board of Canada, they've stated that the cultural sector contributes about $84.6 billion in direct and indirect benefits to Canada's GDP. That was 2007. So I think it's important to keep these figures in mind as we discuss this supplementary one-time only funding before the massive cuts come in 2010, 2011, 2012 to the arts and culture budget. Communities as diverse as Nelson, I see my colleague from Nelson Creston here today, Langley, Kelowna, Pemberton, Vancouver, Victoria, they've all recognized the economic value arts and culture play in their largely, at least for the Pemberton, Kelowna, Langley and Nelson communities, in their largely resource-based economies, and they've made the arts a focus of their economic development strategies. So in a time when the economy is predicted to shrink in the budget that government's put out, I'm curious why the government would take an axe to this sector that's actually growing the economy. The creative sector really has been a leader in job creation, Madam Chair, through to the Minister. Our province lost about 68,000 jobs in January, and so I'm curious why we wouldn't be doing more to support a sector which is creating jobs and one of the few bright lights in this very difficult time. As I mentioned earlier, President Roosevelt understood that in the Depression. President Obama does as well. But here in BC, we're looking at a 50% cut in 2010.